Welcome to Fox 54 News at 6. I'm Kenesha Dees. Temps are starting to fall once again, bringing cold weather back to the Tennessee Valley. Let's take a look at the sky from earlier today. You could see minimal clouds, lots of sunshine, lots of pretty blue, but it was still a little chill in the air. Joining us tonight is Fox 54 weather impact meteorologist Emily Owen. Emily, it was a little bit warmer, but since then, now that it's dark, it's getting colder.
Yeah, we are only going to get colder from here. The one thing, though, that's going to do it for us is the winds. The wind speeds are really going to start to pick up once our temperatures really begin to drop off, and that's going to lower our wind chill values. So wind chill values heading into tomorrow could reach as low as -5. So temperatures right now across the Tennessee Valley for the most part are right at or a little above freezing. 34 right now in Moulton. We're sitting right at freezing in Florence and in Russellville. Fort Payne currently sitting right at 37 degrees. They're usually the coolest spot on the temperature map. Now looking at our radar right now, we don't really have a whole lot going on, but we were seeing a few snow flurries earlier in northern Jackson County. And that will continue to be the trend heading into the rest of tonight and into tomorrow, or just a few snow flurries. And that could be the case for all across the Tennessee Valley. Now we've got a cold weather advisory that will go into effect right around 11 o'clock this evening, last until about noon on Sunday, due to those wind chill values dipping into the negatives. So later on in the show, I'm going to tell you just how cold it's expected to be heading into the weekend, and I'll have more details on the potential snow flurries we could see heading into tomorrow as well. Kenesha?
Yes, and as Emily mentioned, those cold temps, they are no joke in the Tennessee Valley. You'll want to prepare your home to make sure it's safe and warm this weekend. Tips include having your faucet stripped, keeping cabinet doors open, and setting your thermostat to at least 55 degrees to keep your pipes from freezing. Fox 54's Gabe Glassman spoke to utility officials about how these small changes can make a big impact.
Cooler temperatures are returning to the Tennessee Valley this weekend. We spoke to utility officials about how you can keep your home safe during the cooler temps. Along with keeping your pipes safe, there are other ways to protect your home, like removing outdoor hoses, covering spigots, and keeping doors sealed.
It is always a great opportunity to make sure that your home is well insulated, that you have great windows, that your insulation is in place, that you don't have any outside air coming into your home. For energy efficiency around your home, making sure that your windows and doors are sealed, that you've taken every opportunity to make sure that there's no outside air able to flow inside of your home.
Every degree can make a little difference in your usage and ultimately your bill.
Utility officials say small steps can help keep your house safe from the cold.
The biggest thing is we want people to be safe during this. If you don't have to be outside in this cold, don't go out. If you do go out, make sure you're clothed appropriately. If you're traveling, make sure you've taken precautions and somebody knows where you're going and when you're supposed to get there, and just get through this type of a cold snap together and get through it safely.
And in case you need help, Decatur Utilities and Huntsville Utilities say they're ready to assist anyone if needed. In Huntsville, Gabe Glassman, Fox 54 News.
So Gabe, I personally, to keep my home, if you will, weatherproof from this cold, I was gifted a few years ago what's called Mr. Freeze, and I use them for my outdoor spigots, and they work like a charm.
I would think we did a verify last night about the styrofoam cups.
Yeah.
Just in case if you needed quick pinch, styrofoam cups do work for a temporary fix to keep those outdoor spigots.
That's true. Yeah, very effective. But like you said, temporary fix. And are there any other tips the utilities officials you spoke with provided?
Yeah, and I want to go into those a little bit because we didn't really get to cover everything. Along with everything that we mentioned, you can disconnect those outdoor hoses from those spigots if you have them. Use insulated faucet covers. Put pipe wraps around the pipes and unconditioned areas, and have those ceiling fans. You don't think about this often. Make sure they're turning clockwise. And Kenesha, we actually do have a whole list of tips on fox54.com, and the utility officials that I spoke to also went into thermostat. Those are listed on fox54.com as well.
Very great tips. Thank you, Gabe.
Thank you.
All right. Crews with Joe Wheeler EMC are helping repair widespread damage in Mississippi caused by last weekend's winter storm. You can see here crews continue to restore power after the storm left broken poles and also down power lines across the region. Officials say the damage is extensive and linemen are still working long hours to restore electricity to all affected customers.
We're trying our best to get all of our three-phase major lines back on. to feed our water wells, personal care homes, all of our infrastructure. So we are working our very best. The weather conditions, trees are still falling, limbs are falling.
Wow, well, Joe Wheeler EMC praised the skill and dedication of its crews and is asking you to keep crews in your thoughts as they help Mississippi communities recover. As many in Nashville are still without power, one homeowner says her HOA threatened to fine her for using an emergency generator. The woman says she purchased the generator you see on your screen to help stay warm when her power was taken out by that winter storm. But just hours after setting it up, she received an email from the management company telling her to remove it. The HOA says the generator was a fire hazard and didn't fit the community's aesthetic standards, threatening to fine her if she didn't comply. After repeated requests, the HOA agreed to grant the woman an exemption to use the generator until her power is restored. For more weather coverage along with 24/7 radar, check out our live stream on Fox 54 Plus like you're doing right now. Check it out right here. Download on your TV, watch for free. An Ardmore woman headed to court after allegedly assaulting her mother with an ashtray. According to court documents, Taylor Lyde, pictured here, faces charges of attempted murder and assault after allegedly attempting to kill the victim, her own mother, with an ashtray back in 2024. Lyde was brought to the Limestone County Jail this week to await her arraignment set for April 1st. She's held on a $50,000 bond. An Army private will spend the next 20 years behind bars after pleading guilty to the murder of a fellow soldier in their Alabama barracks. Private Brian Jones Jr. admitted to killing Private Abdul Latifu at Fort Rucker back in 2023. During a court-martial that ended Wednesday, Jones received a sentence equivalent to 20 years and 6 months in military prison, along with rank reduction, forfeiture of all pay, and a dishonorable discharge. Jones will serve his sentence at the military's maximum security prison at Fort Leavenworth. A months-long forgery investigation in DeKalb County has finally led to an arrest. The DeKalb County Sheriff's Office says deputies conducted a traffic stop yesterday where they found Javier Ferrer Huerta, the primary suspect in the investigation. Deputies gathered evidence from Huerta's car and later got a search warrant for his home. Inside, deputies say they found multiple fake IDs, equipment used to make fake IDs, guns, and cash. Deputies arrested Huerta and charged him with trafficking stolen identities and also notified the Department of Homeland Security of his immigration status. We've learned tonight an early morning townhouse fire in Madison left one woman dead. Madison Fire and Rescue said crews were called at 4:45 this morning after reports that someone was trapped inside the fiery townhouse. You could see pictures of it. Crews arrived to find the home engulfed in heavy smoke and flames. Firefighters found a woman inside, and the Madison County coroner pronounced her dead at the scene. The department says the home is a complete loss. They also say neighboring units suffered smoke damage. Crews still working to restore water service in West Lauderdale County after service was shut off yesterday. Officials say they're seeing improvement at the Scott tank, but are still working on lines connected to the Browntown tank. For now, the area is still under a boil water advisory. Authorities say you should bring all water to a rapid boil for at least 1 minute before using it. The advisory will remain in effect until water service is fully restored and bacteriological tests confirm it's safe. Free bottled water is available at the Cloverdale Volunteer Fire Department and the WLWA administrative offices. More charges are coming to a former Trinity United Methodist Church daycare employee in Huntsville, accused of having inappropriate contact with children. What began as a single report has since grown into a widening police investigation, with court proceedings now moving forward. 24-year-old Cameron White was terminated after the church became aware of the allegations. He remains in the Madison County Jail on a $50,000 cash bond following his initial arrest. Fox 54's Valentina Chalala tells us the latest from the investigation.
Huntsville police say additional child sex abuse charges are now being filed against Cameron Keith White. Investigators confirm he now faces 5 total charges linked to the ongoing investigation. The new charges include 3 counts of sexual abuse of a child under 12, all involving fondling. Police say the charges come after they allegedly found additional evidence in the Trinity daycare investigation. In court, Judge Donna Pate ordered White to complete an affidavit to determine his eligibility for a court-appointed attorney, a role later offered and and accepted by Larry Marsili.
At this time, like I said, Cameron has indicated to me that his intentions are to fight the case and the cases all the way. He maintains that he's not guilty of these offenses.
A preliminary hearing for the original 2 charges is set for February 4th, with a separate hearing on February 18th for the new counts.
That hearing is a probable cause hearing. It has nothing to do with whether Cameron's guilty or not guilty, whether he did it or didn't do it. It's just whether or not there is sufficient probable cause for the case to move forward.
Police say the investigation remains active and more charges could be filed as evidence continues to be reviewed. In Huntsville, I'm Valentina Chalala, Fox 54 News.
Marsili says if Judge Allen finds probable cause, the case will move to the district attorney's office and be presented to a grand jury for consideration. Madison City Council says yay on half-cent tax going to schools, so it stays. More details on their decision up ahead. Some pup protection for the canines at the Lauderdale County Sheriff's Office. Details on who gifted the gear up ahead. The Madison City Council has extended a half-cent sales tax. During last night's meeting, the City Council voted unanimously to remove the measure's original sunset provision, ensuring the revenue continues to support the city's schools beyond its original 2027 expiration date. Since 2009, the tax has helped fund Madison City schools by helping upgrade classrooms, facilities, and campus infrastructure, which included renovations at James Clemens and Bob Jones High Schools. The Broadway Theater League of Huntsville announced another performance of The Sound of Music canceled, this time due to a mechanical issue. BTL says the production needs replacement parts for the tour sound system. Saturday and Sunday performances are expected to take place as scheduled, but this is the 3rd performance to be canceled after a crew member was injured during Tuesday night's performance, and last night's performance was canceled for technical difficulties. A former state representative is challenging John Wall's bid for the GOP nomination for lieutenant governor. Gil Isbell, shown on your right, says he's challenging the candidacy of John Wall, shown on your left. Alleging Wall had a Tennessee driver's license in 2023 and was registered to vote in Tennessee back in 2020. Alabama requires candidates for lieutenant governor to have lived in the state for at least 7 years before Election Day, although there is a significant gray area in the law. In a statement today, Wall said he has a second residence in Tennessee and is confident he meets the eligibility requirement. NASA delaying a crucial test launch for the Artemis 2 mission due to cold temperatures and wind. The countdown simulation test originally set for this weekend. It involves loading the rocket with hundreds of thousands of pounds of propellant. But NASA says the weather in Florida breaches launch conditions. The 48-hour delay pushes the first potential launch opportunity out to February 8th. Marshall Space Flight Center plays a key role in the mission, from avionics and software to the development of the rocket's powerful boosters. An Alabama native is being tasked with helping Space Command move to the Rocket City. Space Command Commander Stephen Whiting announced that Major General Terry Grisham will serve as the command's transition team director. You can see Grisham on the right, and Grisham comes into the role with nearly 4 decades of military and civilian service and will lead the program management office in Huntsville, while also overseeing support for the headquarters transition. Coming up, we've got a lot lined up for you this weekend, including some of the Loomis Brothers Circus back in town. We'll fill you in up ahead. And during this weekend, Emily, it's going to be chilly, I hear.
Yeah, if you thought it was cold right now, just wait until we get to about this time tomorrow. Air temperature is going to be in the lower teens. I've got your full forecast coming up right after the break. Stay with us.
Now, the Tennessee Valley's certified most accurate forecast from the Fox 54 Weather Impact Team.
Look at the sky above. That's actually beautiful. Looks like this is around close to sunset and right in front of our studio near the accessway to the Parkway going south, but beautiful nonetheless. Also chilly.
Yeah, it was a little cold today, but it's going to be even colder this weekend. I know you might have had some weekend plans to do anything outdoors. It's going to be very cold to do. So this weekend is probably one of those weekends that you just kind of want to stay inside, bundled up. Probably the only time you will see me outside this weekend is when I get into my car to come to work, and then when I get out of my car to come into the building at work.
I don't blame you.
I'm definitely going to be inside as much as I can be. But let's go ahead and jump out to our FOX54 camera, because that sunset has finally turned into a dark sky out there, and those temperatures going to be falling along with it. One thing you might also notice is the wind speeds are starting to pick up. You can kind of tell it right across the street of FOX54. We've got those winds flying along in the flying along there, and notice wind speeds right now around 13 miles per hour in Athens, 9 here in Huntsville, 12 mile per hour wind speeds right now in Decatur, 8 in Scottsboro. And we'll continue to see those rise as the system that's expected to move through grows closer and continues to move through. That's going to up those wind speeds and potential wind gusts up to around 30 miles per hour heading into tomorrow. That's why that wind chill value is going to be really, really cold. So we don't have a wind advisory just yet across the Tennessee Valley. No indication whether they're going to extend this more northward. That does include us. But for right now, it just kind of borders us. So Marion, Winston counties, Blount County included within this, as well as Cherokee and Etowah. So not the Tennessee Valley just yet, but it does border us here in the area. Temperatures right now are right at or a little below freezing. Some of us still hanging on to above freezing. 33 right now in Coleman, 29 in Pulaski, 32 in Russellville. We're sitting at 37 degrees right now in Fort Payne. Now temperatures going to continue to get on down there. Now notice northern Jackson County starting to pick up on a little bit of a snow flurry, especially in the Stevenson area, and we've been watching this. That's when we're going to start to see those accumulation potentially happen in Bridgeport, Stevenson, minor accumulation. It's not going to be anything like a winter wonderland like you're probably all hoping and expecting, but we will continue to be tracking snow flurries like this heading into the rest of tonight and even into tomorrow, because we will have those really cold temperatures. Now, we have a cold weather advisory that will go into effect right around 11 o'clock tonight and last until about noon on Sunday, and that's for the entire Tennessee Valley. Now, I mentioned those snow flurries earlier. We could potentially see snow flurries throughout tonight and especially into early tomorrow morning, but Tennessee Valley areas that are expected to see most of the snow flurry action, I guess you could call it, is going to be Jackson and DeKalb counties, those areas that are right along that Alabama-Georgia state line, but that's not to say that we couldn't see any snow flurries flying across the Tennessee Valley, and that's what we're kind of expecting heading into tonight and even into early tomorrow morning. So a few flurries going to be possible. Otherwise, it's just going to be really, really cold. 16 is the forecasted low for tonight. Now we've got a winter weather advisory in effect for Etowah and Cherokee counties. Those are the only areas that really border us here in the Tennessee Valley, so we're not expecting any winter weather mischief. We're just going to be dealing with the really, really cold wind chills that could reach as low as -5 heading into tomorrow. So remember your cold weather safety tips: dress in layers, protect your pipes, check on your neighbors and your family members. If you're going to use a space heater, do it safely and keep those pets warm. Now after this weekend, our next chance for rain comes Tuesday into Wednesday. After this cold weekend as well, it looks like we've got a little bit of a warm up heading our way. We'll see those high temperatures finally reach the mid and upper 50s by about Tuesday. And mentioned earlier, next chance for rain comes Tuesday into Wednesday of next week.
Yeah, and with all those cold temps, the Alabama Department of Public Health urges you to recognize the signs and symptoms of hypothermia and frostbite. The signs of hypothermia include shivering, confusion, memory loss, and drowsiness. The signs of frostbite include numbness, firm or waxy feeling skin, and white or grayish skin. If you're unable to get help right away, get a person into a warm room or shelter and remove any wet clothing the person is wearing. But it's important to get them proper medical attention as soon as possible. Yes, the weekend is here. Even though it's cold, there's still so much to do across the Tennessee Valley. A blend of classic charm and modern thrills is coming to Alabama A&M this weekend as the Loomis Brothers Circus comes to town. Performances are scheduled for today, tomorrow, and Sunday at the Agribition Center. Tickets start at $30 for one adult and up to 2 children. Calling all hockey families, the Huntsville Havoc is giving away free jerseys to children tomorrow night during Youth Jersey Night. The first 1,100 children ages 12 and under will get a free youth jersey. Puck drop is at 7 p.m. at the VBC. And Bird on the Mountain is hosting Birding at Burritt tomorrow. The family-friendly event features a falconry demonstration, guided birding hikes, a barnyard visit, and Tommy Howell's Beauties of the Sky presentation. That event starts at 10 a.m. and is included with the price of admission. As always, if none of this is your style, visit our website, fox54.com, for a full list of this weekend's happenings. Well, check this out. Look at this little cutie. A K9 with the Lauderdale County Sheriff's Office was gifted with a new custom-made bulletproof vest. The nonprofit Vested Interests in Canines, Inc. donated the vest to K9 Ace, providing critical protection while on duty. To qualify, K9s must be at least 20 months old, actively employed, and certified with law enforcement or related agencies. Each vest has a value of nearly $2,000 and weighs 4 to 5 pounds. Congratulations, Ace.
Heading into Saturday, the Alabama A&M Lady Bulldogs are riding a 7-game win streak. We'll talk to head coach Dawn Thornton about her team's latest efforts next in sports.
Fox 54 Sports is sponsored by Alpha Insurance.
And welcome into sports, everyone. The Alabama A&M Lady Bulldogs now have the longest winning streak in the SWAC after beating Bethune-Cookman 49-44. Coach Dawn Thornton's team won their 7th straight, and the way they won their last game was quite exciting. With the game tied at 44, Kariah Beck grabbing a loose ball, launching a three-pointer, and connecting from downtown to give the Lady Bulldogs the lead for the final time in that contest. Alabama A&M is now 7-1 in conference play, and they're in a first-place tie with Southern University in the SWAC women's basketball standings. Up next for Alabama A&M is a battle against Florida A&M on Saturday afternoon. Coach Thornton provided a quick breakdown of that battle.
FAM beat Southern. They have their loss versus Southern, so they do what they do offensively very well, and I think it'll be a great matchup for us. I don't think that we'll come back out and play as flat as we did today. I can't see us playing back-to-back like that. We just got to go out and do what we're supposed to do and lock in defensively. That's our best offense.
As we mentioned, the A&M Lady Bulldogs are tied for first place with Southern University heading into Saturday. Now, the Lady Bulldogs and Lady Jacks will square off next weekend in the state of Louisiana. But first things first, Lady Bulldogs must handle business tomorrow when they play host to FAMU at the Event Center. Tip-off on the Hill is set for 2 p.m. with the women. The men will begin shortly after 4 p.m., and both games will stream live on SWAC TV. That does it for sports. I'm Mo Carter.
Coming up on Fox 54 News at 9, a local shelter opening its doors to keep people from sleeping in the cold. We'll show you how they're preparing after 3 weeks of increased traffic. And with temps getting colder, you need to take steps to protect your pipes. We spoke with local experts about keeping your pipes from bursting. Finally, Blue Origin is hitting pause on its space tourism program for the next few years. We'll tell you why tonight at 9.
Well, let's get one final check on our 7-day forecast. Heading into the weekend, we've got a cold weather advisory that will be in place until about noon on Sunday. Waking up tomorrow morning to the teens, that carries over into Sunday. Tomorrow's high temperature only reaching the mid-20s, but after tomorrow, we do have a little bit of a warm-up heading our way. By Tuesday of next week, we'll be back in the mid and upper 50s. And it looks like Wednesday of next week will be our next chance at seeing a little bit of rainfall move across the Tennessee Valley. And then looking ahead into Thursday and Friday of next week, it looks like the sunshine finally returns and temperature is going to be back in the low 40s for Thursday. By about this time next week, we'll be back in the low 50s. So it looks like we're finally going to be getting rid of those 20 and 30 degree afternoons for at least the 7-day forecast.
Yes, who would have thought that 50s were good for me?
It's warm.
I know. Thanks for watching. We'll see you tonight at 9.